probably don't even want to see. You probably don't even want to pay for a one-night subscription for pay-per-view from your satellite or digital cable provider, or even on the network. I think it's worth paying $9.99 for, but I don't think it's worth copping up over $65 for with taxes in for WrestleMania. I wouldn't pay to see the League of Nations, and I don't think a lot of wrestling fans would do the same thing. So I think I'm speaking for a lot of people. This whole idea of the League of Nations, I think, can be killed before something disastrous comes of it if it hasn't already happened. And that's an interesting question. I could throw the way of wrestling fans listening to this blog, say on my YouTube channel, or listening to it on Twitter at Jonathan Clarke 1, even on my Facebook page over at HEW Entertainment on Google Plus at the same. Is this whole idea of the League of Nations going to ruin WWE? That's the whole thing that I'm trying to emphasize here. Is this a good move for WWE to have made? And are more wrestling fans frustrated about this whole issue than are actually pleased of what's happened? When I first heard the idea of the League of Nations, I'll be honest with you, I thought this whole idea could have worked. When they started comparing themselves to DX, the NWO, the Four Horsemen, I said, okay, that's going a little bit too far. And then making comments about different nations, different countries like the US and Canada, even the UK on certain times, and other nations we don't even talk about. I said that may be taking a little bit too far, and then I thought back about on everything WWE had done over the last 15 years, everything from the US versus Canada angle to the blacks versus whites scenario, going up against different religions. I said they're no strangers to doing things like this, but I think they're just getting a little bit too carried away, and this looks like to be nothing more than an act of desperation. Am I right or am I wrong in having said anything that I have about WWE in this video blog over the last 20 minutes? I don't think I am, but I'm going to leave it up to you guys to get in on the conversation about everything that's happened over the last couple of weeks, whether it be something happening within the IC, US title divisions, the WWE Championship division, the Divas Revolution, whatever you guys want to talk about, because I think we're in a disastrous situation which there's really no way out of this close to WrestleMania. I think the obvious conclusion that can be getting away with being drawn here is the fact there are so many wrestlers on the DL, most recently Sin Cara, and if not for all these injuries, we would have never heard talk of the League of Nations. I think it's more so, necessary to kill this idea. I think this idea needs to be killed before something disastrous comes of it. And another interesting poll is, do you in fact occur with my assumption on how this whole idea needs to be killed before something disastrous comes of it all? Because that seems to be the definite direction that we are headed in, with no certainty for the futures of people like Del Rio, Sheamus, Barrett, Rusev. There seems to be no sense of direction and no certain futures for these wrestlers, secured or definite. And in my opinion, something needs to be done before something worse comes of it all. Do you like the League of Nations or do you dislike the League of Nations? Let me know in the comments of this video at Jonathan Clarke 22 on my YouTube channel. Tweet me on Twitter at Jonathan Clarke 1 and on Facebook at HEW Entertainment. Just some of the ways you can get in on the conversation about it. At the end of the day, this whole idea frustrates me of the League of Nations running roughshod over the WWE. They are not the New World Order. They are definitely not the Four Horsemen. We are talking about Tully Blanchard, Arn Anderson, and Ric Flair, and J.J. Dillon, who I've had the chance to interview. And at the end of the day, the obvious conclusion that can be drawn about all this, ladies and gentlemen, is people like Rusev, King Barrett, Sheamus, they have a long way to go, especially this whole idea of Del Rio and Zeb Coulter trying to create their own country, Mex America, and possibly going on to hold both the U.S. and Intercontinental Championships. This whole idea is just disastrous, and they have a long way to go, which we are a long way away from having them get to. When you're talking about the League of Nations, they are anything but the League of Nations, and I think we can refer to them as a league of desperation, because if not for all these injuries of Randy Orton, Sting, Seth Rollins, and now most recently Sin Cara, we probably would not be even hearing talk of the League of Nations, and that's the unfortunate thing of everything that's been derived over the last at least 6 months. Very unfortunate. Damn Seth Rollins for blowing at his knee, because if not for him losing the championship the way he did, being forced to forfeit it because of a knee injury in the way of a Shawn Michaels many years ago back in 1997 when he won the title from Sid Justice, if not for Seth blowing out his knee and things like the Shield going away, we probably wouldn't be seeing the League of Nations. Hey, how about the Shield versus the League of Nations? Anything will be better than what we're seeing now. I'm your host, Jonathan Clarke. Take care, and I will talk to you really soon. Like what you hear? Tell us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube.
Rusev Udria, Rusev Machka.
Don't go anywhere. HEW Entertainment Radio will return with the latest news, music, interviews, discussion, and Jonathan Clarke next.
When something takes place in the world of professional wrestling, you know where to go. WrestleZone.com. WrestleZone.com. Covering all the latest breaking news daily. Interactive forums where you can chat with thousands of other wrestling fans. Exclusive editorials and audio features by some of today's top wrestling superstars. Exclusive video content, weekly polls, live play-by-play coverage of every WWE and TNA pay-per-view. And now, featuring WrestleZone Radio, live with news, in-depth discussions, debates, and interviews with wrestling's top stars, past and present. When you think wrestling, think WrestleZone. WrestleZone.com.
He considers himself God's gift to wrestling, and millions of his faithful agree. With nearly 4 hours of footage and exclusive commentary and matches, this DVD chronicles Daniel's rise from Chicago's Windy City Wrestling to the Asylum in Nashville, and finally to the top of TNA. TNA Home Video presents Heaven Sent, Hell Bound, the best of Christopher Daniels. Available at most retailers and TNAWrestling.com.
Hey, you right there, the one listening to this show. While you're tuning into this broadcast or when you read the news on WrestleZone.com, are you forming opinions of it all? Or do you just agree with everything you see and hear? If you actually have some sort of afterthought, which, by the way, is normal, we want to know what it is. There are thousands of wrestling fans just like you that simply can't hold their thoughts in either, and they let it all out in our interactive forums. You have a voice, so use it. Simply visit forums.WrestleZone.com. Don't just be active, be reactive in the official WrestleZone.com forums. For all the latest in mixed martial arts, be sure to visit WrestleZone's sister site, SureDog.com. Complete with daily news, exclusive video, interviews, live radio broadcast, interactive forums, and the very popular Fight Finder with bios and complete match-by-match histories of your favorite fighters. SureDog is the only place you need when it comes to mixed martial arts. Visit SureDog.com today.
Hi, my name's Adam Nudelman, but I play the Phantom on the radio. I'm here to remind you that, screw that, my book, Mysteries of Wrestling Solved, is available at finer bookstores everywhere. That stupid fake voice, I hate it. I wrote a book along with Sir Adam Kleinberg called Mysteries of Wrestling. It has the questions that you wanted answered. Why does Steve Austin hate Jeff Jarrett? Are referees really blind and stupid and dumb? Who is actually the toughest wrestler in the business outside of the ring? Hulk Hogan, The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Kamala. We get down and dirty with insider facts you've never read about anywhere else. So what are you waiting for? It makes a great stocking stuffer. You're too short, you buy 3 of them, you get taller, you just stand on them. Mysteries of Wrestling Solved by ECW Press, written by Sir Adam Kleinberg and Adam the Phantom Nudelman. Available everywhere. It's done. The plug is done. I'm done. I didn't sell it well enough. There's naked pictures of China in there. Okay? Thank you.
Available now on DVD. John Triton is on the toughest, most important mission of his life.
I have a hostage. It's my wife.
And with everything on the line,
I gotta do something, and I gotta do it now.
nothing and no one can stop him.
See, I tried to kill this guy twice today.
Now, see the Marine in a whole new way with the unrated version. Get more edge-of-your-seat action, more mind-blowing explosions, more of the Marine. This unrated version features material too hot for theaters, plus special behind-the-scenes features. John Cena is the Marine. Only unrated version. Available now on DVD. Rated version also available.
I know what you're thinking. I'm not a real athlete. I'm just a wrestler. I'm 6'10", 328 pounds.
I won boxing's Golden Gloves 3 years in a row.
I was a national champion at the University of Miami. My jersey was retired at Florida State.
I was the ultimate fighting champion.
When you step through those ropes, bad things do happen.
At over 200 states.